Yeah. We in this bitch like we never left. Don't start the motherfucking show off like this, man. Wake up call for you all.
What's going on, Juco?
Fuck snitch. Tell them fuck niggas snitching ain't cool. When you tell the homies niggas break the rules. Tell them fuck niggas snitching ain't cool. It's catch the hook TV, nigga, make your move. We gon' get off into this motherfucking Hobgoblin, Crip Mac, and 55 Crips beef and see what's going on, man. See what's immaculate and what's popping with this situation over here, man. With these niggas over here banging on with this Crip shit, you know.
You gonna say why I was giving $0 for $0, but y'all won't kill nobody else. When the last time a neighbor died? When the last time a neighbor died? Like last week, goofy ass. What you talking about? Hell no, I don't know nobody. I ain't never killed nobody, bro. I'm not even gonna start stating facts on it. Can you say why you don't specifically like the Hoovers? Well, I got personal reasons, but I'm from a hood that we always hated them. Okay. So we always been back and forth with them. I had this tactical cut in the hand. Oh, look, I lost somebody very close to my boat. Yeah. Like a big brother fight me hard here from 40. Look. And then from there, cuz just been all gas on these niggas. But I asked about Jap 5. Jap 5 is my rap name. You better ask about him at the shoot. Said, had your homie like plenty of times. Dead homie. Talking about. But nigga, like, you coming from a whole different area, moving over here, just popping about shit, that's just like uncalled for. You know you.
So a lot of that, you're saying a lot of that is like out of towners and stuff that just come through.
Yeah, I'm your CM, your size 6, whoever on neighborhood crip. Your wife's a monster on neighborhood crip. It ain't no.
Man, these niggas is clowns, man. These niggas is Crips and they beefing with each other, man. On Crip. Hobgoblin, Crip Mac, and 55 Crips beef with rival Crips and Bloods in LA. This shit is crazy. This shit everywhere, man. Crips don't get along with Crips. Bloods don't get along with Crips. Crips don't get along with nobody I see. But we the immaculate motherfuckers. We the immaculate motherfuckers pack, nigga. We the motherfucker. We got the juice, nigga. Like that nigga Boosie said, we got the juice. So we gonna get back off a bit to this, man, and see what these niggas talk about and see how deep they gonna go with this shit, man. Y'all tap in, man. Don't be afraid, man. Make a choice.
Destruction Destroyer. Oh, rolling Crip. I'm like the Cookie Monster. Cuz Crip, real white. Crip. I'm a and I got it.
That nigga sound like a motherfucking human robot.
We outside. Talking about we don't be outside. We outside. Tiny hardhead FIP on wood. Tiny hardhead FIP.
These niggas inside talking about they outside. Man, what's wrong with these motherfuckers?
Hey, yo, squad. What's the drill? Before we even get into it, man, drop some blue hearts in the comments for that homie Nipsey one time. Things just ain't been the same since dude been gone, man. I mean, there's always been gangs in LA, but never before has social media been the stage for that lifestyle like it is now. One set that has recently rose to internet fame is the 5-5 Crips. They have been in the face of the media a lot lately with the rising of the hood star Crip man. It's also obvious they ready to go, and anyone who disrespects the set. So the beef is showing no signs of ending for them. Today we gonna break down one of LA's most rebellious gangs, the 5-5 Crips and their ops. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. At this point, everybody knows Los Angeles, California is a beautiful city. But what is also understood is there's a flip side to that beauty, and things can get ugly. The LA streets have been plagued with bloodshed and gang warfare since the Blue Wearing Crips and Red Flag and Blood gangs of the 80s. The rise of the gang lifestyle had youngins in the hood joining gangs to make it big and stack their bread up. But with that came dark consequences. Gangs that were originally formed to protect black communities eventually ended up bringing the very dangers they intended to protect the community from. No one was safe, not the elderly, not women, or even kids and babies. The beef between the rival sets took an even more devastating turn as money and power corrupted the structure and the workings of gangs. The Crips turned from a powerful force under the vision of founders like Stanley Tookie Williams to various sets
R.I.P. to the big homie.
after internal conflict sparked with the younger generation trying to flex their authority. Wasn't none of that jumping in. Wasn't nothing about being told to go do this. And when they did try to start that, that's when you end up with these sets. And that's how that came about. Else the West Side didn't last very long, simply because of somebody trying to tell somebody what to do. According to an OG member, Melvin Farmer, different Crips claim their set opening the doors for the rise of Crip sets like Rolling 60 Crips,
What's cracking, cuz?
Underground Crips, and the Block Crips. This is when internal struggles started, and they started to try to get a structure.
Getting into this motherfucking Op Goblin, Crip, Mac, and 55 Crips beef with rival Crips and Bloods in LA. This shit funny, man.
All these sets that you see have names behind them with the final end.
This shit get even more dangerous, man. Every motherfucking day, man.
55 Crips, also known as 5-5 Neighborhood Crips. 55th Street, like Baby Snap said, live from the 5. Initially, they went by the name 55 Hustlers, and like other Crip crack.
That boy funny as fuck. These niggas, man, these niggas take this shit to the extreme, man. It is what it is, though, but I'm always under the 6-point star, nigga, in the blue rag, Crip. 3200, CYGXTP, nigga. Toledo, nigga. You feel me? Straight out the motherfucking mud, nigga. You feel me? These niggas be having weird shit going on in their hoods and in their cities, man. Every year and every motherfucking week, nigga. Shit gets stranger and stranger. I ain't never knew no motherfucking Crips was repping the 55, though. I guess it's motherfucking different everywhere you go, nigga. We up north, but I'm west side, you feel me? One of the best sides. We gonna get back into this little interview, though, man. And see what the fuck the turnout gonna be like, man.
Just took their name from the street they rep, 55. They would form Rolling 50s Crips, joining with the 57 Neighborhood Crips and 58 Neighborhood Crips. Crippin' was taking over LA, and their ops were basically right around the way. The first is the 51 Trouble Crips. They originated as a graffiti crew, nothing but trouble, before going under the Gangster Crips umbrella, adopting the name 51 Trouble Crips of 51st Street. Just as 55 Crips are allied with the rolling 50s and 60s, 51 Trouble is clicked up with the Neighborhood Crip sets that are neighboring, widening the villains of the 55 Crips. The Hoover Hoover Crips, taking their name from their base of operation, Hoover Street, between Vermont Ave and Figueroa Ave. Initially, they went under the name Hoover Groovers before transitioning to their second form, the Hoover Crips, after falling out with the West Side Crips. But their final change came with the change to their current name, the Hoover Criminals, and their identifying color, orange. As if 55 Crips didn't have enough to
nationwide. Look us up, man.
And Hoover Criminals, they also have beef with the Harbor Gangster Crips around
from the 6 to the 32 to the 31.
And can't forget their other nemesis, Van Ness Gangster
motherfucking Cherry, the part from Cherry, the motherfucking L to the Woodrow.
The hatred for the
motherfucking
55
Manhattan, cross Fulton. I mean, we all around this bitch on every side of the motherfucking drive.
With their Van Ness Gangster stamp. So now we have a better idea what the 55 Crips are dealing with from all ends, surrounded by their ops. I say pretty much, Cut. Every street.
Very much, guys. Everything. These niggas be sounding like Grover around this bitch.
Down there. You in the orange rags over there. Just 2 streets down. So we're surrounded by everything. It's different. Before Crip Mac turned the entire world's direction to the 55 Crips, they were already known in the streets, and their ruthless, rebellious nature gained them the title for being feared. But that came with a lot of bloodshed and loss. In 2009, 51 Trouble Crip member Ronnie F. Onley, also known as 007, allegedly caught 55 Crip member Keith Moore lacking multiple times in that same year. On the afternoon of September 5th, 2009, Ronnie F. Onley, a.k.a. 007, and Jason Wilder allegedly caught Keith Moore lacking for the last time. When officers arrived at the scene after a 911 call, they found Moore lying near 55th Street and Dinker Avenue with fatal gunshot wounds to his lower back and upper thigh. Around the crime scene was a bicycle on a grass parkway nearby and 12 9mm bullet casings in the street. Eyewitnesses at the scene.
How y'all feel about T.I. and Boozy B? Some of the greatest niggas that did this shit, but what they beefing about? Oh, they didn't cut the string. They didn't cut the string. It went too far.
With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a threat. I don't spare no motherfucking battle. Because if you
feel like me,
anything wrong, you doing anything criminal out, and you cooperate with law enforcement,
fuck the law.
Get you out of trouble.
Fuck the police.
That means you're cooperating. That means you're a rat. After he hit fast, I had to talk to him. I took all the charges. So things are heating up for T.I.'s. Hip hop is once again.
What's y'all decision on that? How y'all feel about that shit right there?
It seems like there might be a war brewing, but things are getting crazy because after years of being accused,
you think that paperwork is real, or is it motherfucking fake?
They should have put him away for a long time, like a long ass time.
Hours before he was to take the stage at the BET Hip Hop Awards, federal agents say rapper T.I. arranged to purchase machine guns and silencers. Agents with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives arrested the Grammy winner at a shopping center blocks away from the venue.
And since he got out of that situation years ago, there have been rumors about how in the hell he was able to do that without telling on someone.
You know, you were pretty much, you were saying T.I. was a rat.
Well, yeah, man, everybody knows. That man say he a 7-time convicted felon in one song. How you count all these guys? How? You can't even find his records nowhere on this. With all these military weapons, silencers, homie, as many as he had with 7 convicted felons. What deal did he make? Like, you know you're good, but it can't be that goddamn good.
All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward.
Of course, his infamous Crime Stoppers video hasn't helped this conversation at all. Because even if he didn't tell, he sure as hell made a commercial encouraging others to do so he could avoid prison. Now, I'm not judging you for that, but the facts are the facts, and that can never be disrespect. And yes, this would not help someone who has kind of been considered one of the most popular gangster rappers of all time, and also claims to literally have invented trap music. So the king of the South has had to defend this on and off for years. But, you know, to be honest.
So how y'all feel? Y'all think that nigga a rat? Or was that all cap for the, for the TV? I don't know, man. The proof is in the pudding, though, and the paperwork don't lie. Let's see if they gonna pull it up.
T.I. has already survived these conversations and came out looking good, like the streets accepted his inspiration. And even the Crime Stoppers video, what blew everyone's mind is when T.I. came out on his own podcast and told the world that he, in fact, told on his dead cousin, and that's how he avoided jail time. He means essential. Yes. Suddenly, to everyone who had followed the story, which is like half of hip hop, we finally figured out, oh, this is what happened. What he's saying he told. That makes perfect sense. But of course, you don't get to just say something like that and don't think it's not gonna like shake things up. Rapper Boosie, who also happened to have an album on the way with T.I., had to address it in an interview with Vlad TV and had to basically say, well, if he did that, then he a rat. And now things are getting more ugly with shots being fired back and forth. And we got the footage. And we're going to go through all of that. Who said what and why, where this is all going. Because trust me, you're going to want to watch to the end because it gets crazy. Apparently, he was just joking, but we'll get to that. First, I am Joe Stone. This is the Church of Joe Stone podcast. When cool comes to pray, you come to this thing, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another video coming your way. We find the most shocking and provocative news and take it to church. Now, in his interview with Vlad from Vlad TV, Boosie was questioned about the now viral clip of T.I. telling the story on his podcast about how he had a conversation with his dead cousin after he passed and while he was facing these horrible gun charges that could put away forever. And his cousin gave him permission to put all the charges on him so he could get out. So he ended up telling police that his cousin was the one that did all of these bad things.
Bitch ass nigga.
Avoid jail time.
He a hoe.
So before we actually get on the spreadway, pull us over. I have a gun. Why are we going through?
He telling that story. He telling that shit too good, man.
I know you see it, but you know,
like it was part of the plan or something. Crip.
Yeah. After he had passed, they had to talk with him. And I take all the charges you got. You can walk away free and put it on me. Goddamn right. And Boosie, to kind of no one's surprise, didn't pull any punches, even though him and T.I. are friends and had an album on the way out and called him a rat. I don't know if you know about hip hop, but that's fighting words. Like that's friendship, and then we go into war words, and especially when this whole industry, well, a lot of it is supposed to be built on your credibility. With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a rat too. I don't spare nothing. Because if you're doing anything wrong, you're doing anything criminal, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating. That means you're a rat. But I'm gonna tell you like this: when I saw that, I think you're lying. Also, Boosie just seemed to be extremely frustrated.
Yeah, bro.
We got an album coming out. I'm supposed to be like the truth teller, gangster dude. You a gangster too. You know, people want us for this reason. This is a part of our story. This is the reason why the album works. And now you go on a podcast and tell people that you're a snitch. Even if I don't think that you are, and even if you're joking, why would you do that? It messed up our album because now it's not about the music, it's about this. It ruined everything.
And I ain't gonna sell nothing. Motherfuckers gonna back up off of it.
Like Boosie, you cannot do an album. Boosie, my real fan, like Boosie, you the last one left. They like, you cannot put this album out. Like, you know, my uncle OG called me. Like, Boosie, that album ain't coming out. And Boosie made it clear that the album was now never coming out. And a big part of that was because Boosie, who is known for being against snitching, this is literally a part of his business. After T.I.'s announcement, started getting all types of messages from
coming up next, man.
Family telling him like, no, you
how y'all feel about that nigga Boosie and that motherfucking pistol case, man? That nigga crazy.
He does something with T.I. Because again, even
well,
if T.I. didn't snitch, the fact that
he was somewhere out of state.
All the rumors of all the years, now you done muddied the waters yourself in 2023 when nobody was talking about this deal. But T.I. didn't pull punches and immediately replied with his own
interview. They caught the
big
homie with the strap.
To talk to Trap Network's Rich Trapper, where they discussed the rapper's involvement in this whole beef and his cooperation.
By Lil Boosie today, and the question is about this man's involvement of cooperation.
Now, T.I. basically was saying how he was baffled about Boosie's need to address the situation in the manner that he did. Like, he could have called him, supposed to be better than that? Why you didn't hit me on the phone? Very good point.
It just baffled me as to how it ended up. There's more ways to communicate than not communicate. I mean, the public internet route is crazy. But that's, I guess, what prompted you to reach out to me. Say, hey.
But again, it was a spur of an interview. I don't think that Boosie was going to pull out his phone just to call T.I. back. Now, T.I. was asked if Boosie should have known him better, or what he thought Boosie could have done better in this situation. And T.I. was just saying he should have hit him up for clarification. But this is the thing. This came out of your mouth. Like, it wasn't a rumor. It wasn't like somebody said anything else. Like, we all watched you on the video say this is what you did.
So, in dealing in actuality of you guys' relationship, in dealing with what it actually is, would you expect him to know you better than that and not even question it, or would you just expect the courtesy of a phone call of a real quote unquote?
I have to say both.
Okay.
I have to say both. She kind of alluded to
that. Is why I called you an anchor.
I just appreciate the thought of, getting the facts. Now, going back to the interview, T.I. started eventually explaining where this all came from. Like, apparently he had a conversation with his cousin before he died about whether or not this was something they would do. Like, if one of us died, you could put all our crimes on the other one. Like, I don't care. They had a conversation and agreed to it.
Because it came from a conversation that my partner and I were having. And that conversation was, hey, bro, if me and you catch a case together and I die before you, it's mine. It's mine. He's like, nah, I can't do that. Yes, you can. It's mine. Why can't you? I don't understand.
Yeah, man, I can't go to jail.
T.I. also went on to say that basically he was being kind of sarcastic. It was a joke. It was a bit, but apparently went over everyone's head. My problem with that is, like, yes, I'm watching it back. I can kind of see maybe this was a bit, but the funny part about that is, imagine being so bad of a comedian that literally no one knows you're telling a joke. And in that, you end up like ruining careers and friendship. Like, okay, his career's not ruined, but like blackening your own legacy because you just are really bad at telling jokes. Because maybe if T.I. had done a good job or not joked about something that people have been suspecting for years, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Not give people with the least amount of information, the most consideration. You don't know. I do. So why am I going to be listening to you more than I'm listening to you? Because if you don't know that you have access to me, what you can do is say, hey, bro, go ahead.
But that wasn't all the back and forth, because even after watching the clips where T.I. realized what was going on, he immediately went to Instagram and started sending shots back at Boosie, saying he doesn't know if it's him or his OG uncle that needs to see it, but I got my paperwork ready to show. Pull up. My number the same and my address the same. The T.I. went on to say that if it was a question or confusion about anything, I said you could have called and asked so you can report back and tell your OG. And also, I could give an F about what N-word thinks about me and how we expected more from Boosie because he thought that relationship was better than that. Of course, I'm paraphrasing a lot. Now, Boosie has remained silent since the interview and has not said anything online. And it does not seem like they've had a conversation, at least up to the point that this video was made, because T.I. is still defending himself and having to say things about it. Now, I don't know if that relationship is now unsalvageable. I don't know if there's going to be some type of beef behind this, but it seems like even now, 50 Cent is throwing shots at T.I. T.I.'s having been offended with him. The whole internet is now having a back and forth about this. And while, yes, Boosie was the one to say he's a snitch, he's a rat, if that's what he did, and maybe Vlad asked him in an interview question and it went viral. And yes, I can see how maybe from T.I.'s perspective, this just seems all out of whack. But this came from literal words you said. Like, nobody was talking about T.I. snitching in 2023. Like, that wasn't a thing until now. So to be honest, T.I. isn't a snitch. This situation feels like a lot of his own fault. Like, yeah, Boosie could have called him, but like, wow, when I just watched you say it out loud. And it wasn't like he said the interview, like, I'm going to sit down and talk about T.I. today. It just came up. And Boosie is not one to shy away from giving his opinion. But let me know what you think in the comments. But before we get out of here, man, we got to see what the streets have got to say, because, man, the comments were crazy on this one. T.I. wanted Boosie to come see the paperwork. For what? You said out your own mouth that you cooperated. Snitch on your dead cousin to get some charges dropped. You are the paperwork. Boosie needs T.I. and not the other way around. I think that they don't need each other. T.I. said that
himself. They both get money. I don't want to put that one out there. He was the one who said he told on the dead man. So why would I need to see paperwork when it came out your own mouth? That's my point. Why is T.I. talking about some if? Ain't no if. Ain't nothing more absolute than hearing it from the horse's mouth. And we definitely heard it come out T.I.'s mouth. That's all everybody's saying. If he's going to talk about showing our paperwork, just put it on the net. That's a very good point.
Look, let me
Just
see
put it
the
on the
light.
net at this point. It's probably public record anyway. You want to set the record straight, just post it all. Like, let people be able to see what's going on. If we got to have this conversation, T.I. response made no sense because Boosie said if he did. People got to learn to listen to what's being said. He gave his opinion on if T.I. did or didn't snitch. That's his opinion. You can't argue with another's opinion, whether it's true or not. And all you can do is change how they see you. That is true. Boosie just said, like, look, if that's what he did, then he is a snitch. He didn't necessarily say, like, hey, the guy is a snitch. He didn't even try to kind of defend T.I. at the end. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think, Boosie is right? Do you think T.I. is right? Do you think T.I. snitched? Do you think this is just a joke blown out of proportion and everything is going wrong? Do you think that they're just trying to stir up some buzz for the album? Maybe this is like just a huge play on the hip-hop's consciousness, or do you think this is all real? Let me know in the comments what you think. But until the next one, I am Joe Stone. This is the Church of Joe Stone podcast. Well, cool comes to pray. If you come to stay, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another video coming your way. We find the more shocking than back in the news.
What you think, man? I think that nigga told. Because he ain't give no further detail on the situation, man. So you suspect, Crip. I fuck with you, but you suspect. I'm waiting to see what's next on everything. Now, this nigga done got caught in San Diego after being, he went live after being released. Let's see what he was talking about, what he got arrested for. What's Boosie's thoughts on this situation that he got himself off with?
I could care less if somebody calls me, but maybe I'm just not important enough. Whatever. Boosie's simple line of talking about making that phone call, or not making that phone call in this case. I can't think of anything else that Boosie's gotten into recently that would justify him aiming that at somebody else. So,
Say my first day out. I was out last night. Got out last night. Had to go straight to the concert.
but you already know the drill. My opinion isn't the one that's important here. I want to hear from y'all. Drop those theories and drop those ideas down in the comment section below. Give me some entertainment for a few minutes. And you already know, if you're dropping some logic, I'll definitely give you a little bit of a shout out. You already know how I do when it comes to that. But be wary. The contrary will be true also. You drop something stupid. Well, I'm old school. I call a spade a spade. And if that spade happens to look, well, stupid.
They say this nigga YFE and Lucci brutally attacks young thugs affiliate in jail. exclusive video. Let's check this shit out. Let me see what happened.
I was impressed. You were impressed. Whether you love or hate the man, I'm sure everyone in Uncle Sam's country at least felt some respect for Wyatt Vannucci when word got out that he refused to snitch on Thug. But if for some reason you thought they'd become sweet after that, then think again. Because this clip of a YFN gang member beating up a YSL rival is the latest out of Fulton jail. The same jail that's holding both Lucci and Thug. So what's up? Is there a war brewing between Lucci and Thugger's gangs behind bars? And could this new conflict ruin their chances of walking free? Tick tock boom. Thugger and Lucci have been in the same Fulton jail since both of them got arrested. And since both of them got arrested, they've both been trying to get out. Unfortunately for them, it's not been easy. And there's a couple of reasons and people we can blame on that. And no, I'm not mentioning Gunner. I'm talking about Fulton County District Attorney Fannie T. Willis. She's the one who took down both Young Thug and his crew and Wyatt Vannucci with his crew. But with the way the trial has been going, it seems she is only interested in locking up Thug. Because that's the only explanation why everyone except Thug, and I mean everyone, has been given the chance to walk away if they just do one thing: snitch on Thug. Now, we could turn the heat on the attorney all we want, but the truth is, even if Thug and Lucci had a chance to beat their separate cases, they've also been part of the reasons their own chances have been dwindling. One night of drive-by shooting in a Maybach led to a multiple charge RICO indictment for Lucci. We're talking racketeering, violation of the state's anti-gang law, and possession of a firearm during commission of a felony.
These boys out here
there's
really
every
getting it.
possibility that the Atlanta trap artist would never get out. For Thugger, it's just as bad, if not worse. He's charged with 8 counts. Conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, also known as RICO, participation in criminal street gang activity, 3 counts of violating the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of a firearm while committing a felony, and possession of a machine gun. But here's the problem. Thugger and Lucci appear not to have a sense of self-preservation because they've done much more to worsen their case than any prosecutor looking to keep them behind bars. I can't show you for obvious reasons, but later in this clip, the YFN gang member tries to scrape off the gang tat on this YSL member. And I don't think anyone needs to be told that the whole video is the dumbest thing legally for both squads. Why? Because the RICO case that DA Willis and her team of prosecutors built against Thugger has been missing one vital piece. They've been trying to get anyone in the squad to admit that YSL was actually a criminal gang and not just a label. And for all the talk of betrayal within the YSL ranks, the road to establishing that claim has been quite tricky. Take Gunner, for example. YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang. Yes, sir. When this clip broke out on social media, everyone insisted that this was it. Gunner had given up Thugger. He was a snitch. They might be right, but according to the law, he technically didn't cheat. His yes ma'ams were a direct result of something he agreed to, called the Alfred plea. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the legal details, but the plea basically allowed him to admit that YSL was a gang without saying it. But that's not enough. If the prosecutors are going to sweep the jury's opinion, they know they need to squash any doubts. They need to tighten the case against Thug. Luckily for the prosecutors, both Thug and Lucci have been helping them against their own selves. Like some black musically inclined Mike Ross, they've been creating and handing over new indicting evidence for the state to use against them. There have been a couple of self-implicating incidents since both rappers got arrested, and some even in the middle of trial. There was the incident of July 22, where YSL members jumped and stabbed YFN Lucci in the same jail. Then Thugger was caught on tape receiving drugs in court. Gotta respect the balls on that guy. Then YFN Lucci posted this bizarre photo of himself mixing alcohol with lean and a couple of other contraband items. There's gotta be some street code that stops homies from snitching on themselves. And then we have both the tat scraping incident and the fact that both offenses were caught on tape and recorded on phones that shouldn't have been in the jail cell in the first place. Do you see what I mean when I say these dudes are moving against themselves? Or maybe I've got it all wrong. Maybe they hate themselves so much that they can't see the forest for the trees. They're too busy beefing. They can't see that they're also self-destructive. It's almost as if there's no way to squash the beef before it's too late. Or is there? Ending the YSL, YFN beef. To squash a beef, you gotta understand its roots. How did Young Thug, real name Jeffrey Lamar Williams, come to hate Rashawn Bennett, aka YFN Lucci, to the point where they've tried and ultimately failed to kill themselves? It gets even more bizarre when you consider the fact that both men are part of the Blood Gang. They're just from different feuding factions. And as you might have already guessed, their beef began with the death of the family, YFN Lucci's family. The individual he lost wasn't a brother in the biological sense. He was OG Nut, aka Big Nut, and he was Lucci's homie, mentor, and the person that put him on and helped him elevate his game. Then on the 11th of January 2015, Donovan
Jonathan Thomas, aka OG Nut, lost his life when he was murdered on McDaniel Street in the Castleberry Hill neighborhood at an Atlanta barbershop.
The search is on for the person who shot 3 people, including a 14-year-old. 1 man died.
All 3 victims, including a 14-year-old, were brought here to Grady Memorial Hospital, and 26-year-old Donovan Thomas was in the most serious condition, and the medical examiner's office confirmed he did not survive.
Before his death, Nut was well respected in the streets and by other OGs in the gang. He was also well known within hip-hop circles. So when he was killed, the first question that everyone was asking was who pulled the trigger. The authorities had no answer. But on the streets, Lucci was pointing fingers at YSL, specifically Young Thug. This is where the feud officially began. Nut's death led to 37 separate hits. That region in Atlanta quickly welcomed a bloodbath. Someone from either faction was shot and killed every other month. Even Lucci's mama would get shot in the leg. Then, by February 2016, the beef became known to the music industry, and it became loud and very disrespectful. The earliest spat during this period came from Lucci when he claimed to have smashed Thug's shouting. Thug responded by posting up his girl with the caption, "This the only sofa this bitch on." Then Lucci would dig in his back pockets for receipts, chats between him and Thugger's babe when they were feeling each other. Surprisingly, Thugger backed off from the beef after this, but Lucci was on demon time, and soon he would address the affair in a live interview.
You know how she was about me, so you know.
That's what I saw. I saw that you said you slept with his girl. Is that what it's about?
I was in the bed with her a couple times.
You know, this is the kind of drama that runs a man wild, and anyone can tell that Lucci was looking for a reaction. Thugger reacted all right, but not in the manner Lucci was expecting. In 2017, Thugger released this tweet that made Lucci's skin crawl. "I dropped EBBTG on Tupac's B-Day because I'm the new Pac. I feel like I'm the thug he didn't get to become. Hashtag, so I'm going to finish what he started." The acronym EBBTG was in reference to his 2017 EP titled Easy Breezy Beautiful Thugger Girl, or Beautiful Thugger Girls for short. Now, any rapper that compares himself to Tupac should prepare for the heat. And it's not just because Tupac fans are gatekeepers of his legacy. Pac is worshipped by the media and artists, both young and old, and Lucci fell in that category. The tweet rubbed off on Lucci in all the wrong ways, and he went for the man's jugular with this tweet saying, "Pac would have never worn a dress." This 6-word tweet was in reference to Young Thug's 26 mixtape, Jeffrey,